Hi everyone, welcome to Bible Blast and Lesson 16. We are continuing with our account of Joseph. So he has been sold as a slave to the Ishmaelites. And the Ishmaelites took him to Egypt, and when they got there, they sold Joseph to a man called Potiphar. Now Potiphar was a very important man. In fact, he was captain of the guard and an officer of Pharaoh. And so he bought Joseph, and off came the ropes. And Potiphar gave Joseph a job in his house. Now, it didn't take long for Potiphar to notice that God was with Joseph. Let's just see if we have a picture here. In fact, everything that Joseph did, God made him successful. So here is a picture of Potiphar right there. And these are the Ishmaelites that had sold Joseph to Potiphar. And so Potiphar just put Joseph in charge of his entire house, all of the daily operations. And that's because God was with Joseph and prospered him. Everything Joseph did, he was successful. In fact, Potiphar himself was blessed because of what God was doing in Joseph's life. And Joseph obeyed the Lord, and he trusted in the Lord, and he did everything as though he was doing it for the Lord. Now we know that Joseph was about 17 when he got to Potiphar's house, but we don't exactly know how long he stayed there, how many years. But Joseph was growing up, and Potiphar's wife noticed how handsome he was, but she had no business noticing that because she was a married woman. But she decided she loved Joseph. And Joseph said, "No, I will not love you. My master trusts me. He has put me in charge of everything in his house, and you are his wife, and I will not love you and do sin against the Lord." Well, she was so angry that Joseph wouldn't love her, she told lies about him. She went to Potiphar and she said things that Joseph had never done. But Potiphar believed her lies, and he became angry with Joseph and threw him into prison. Oh no! Now Joseph has lost his important job. How are his dreams going to come true now? But the Lord was with Joseph, and it didn't matter where Joseph was. Everything he did was successful. And so here he is, he's in prison, and the keeper of the prison notices that the Lord is with Joseph and blesses everything he does. And so the keeper of the prison decided to put Joseph in charge of all the administrative duties of the prison, including looking after the prisoners. Now, there were two prisoners that were employees of the Pharaoh, and they had got themselves into trouble. One of them was the cupbearer and butler, and the other one was the Pharaoh's baker. Well, they each had a dream, but they had no idea what their dream meant. And so they came to Joseph. And Joseph told them, "The Lord can give the interpretation for your dream. Tell me your dream." And so the cupbearer explained what his dream was about. And Joseph said to him, "Your dream means that in 3 days you are going to get your job back as cupbearer for Pharaoh." Well, the baker wanted to know what his dream meant. And after he told it to Joseph, Joseph said, "Oh, I'm sorry to tell you this, but in 3 days you are going to be killed for what you have done." Well, exactly as God revealed to Joseph, that's what happened. So the cupbearer was leaving the prison and going back to his job with Pharaoh, and Joseph said to him, "Don't forget about me, okay? remember to put in a good word to Pharaoh for me." And the cupbearer said, "Oh, yes, of course I will." Well, the cupbearer forgot about Joseph. So Joseph was stuck in prison for 2 more years until Pharaoh had a dream. In fact, Pharaoh had 2 dreams. He didn't know what they meant. And so he called together all his wise men to hear his dreams, and they didn't know what the dreams meant either. But then the cupbearer remembered, and he said to Pharaoh, "Oh, there is a man in prison called Joseph, and when I had a dream, he told me what my dream meant, and it exactly happened as he had said." So Pharaoh sent for Joseph. And when Joseph came before Pharaoh, he gave the Lord God the credit. He said, "I do not have it in me to interpret dreams, but the Lord, he's the one that will give Pharaoh an answer of peace." And so Pharaoh told Joseph about his dreams. He said, "Well, my first dream was that there were 7 healthy cows, and they came up out of a river and began feeding in the meadow. And after that, there were 7 skinny, sick-looking cows that came up out of the river, and they ate the fat cows. And when they were done eating, they didn't look any fatter. And I also had a dream about a stalk that came up out of the ground, and it had 7 healthy ears of corn. And then I dreamed there was a stalk that came up out of the ground that had 7 sick-looking ears of corn. And the sick ears of corn ate the fat ears of corn." And Joseph said, "The dreams are one. The fat cows and the fat ears of corn, and the skinny cows and the skinny ears of corn." And he said to Pharaoh, "God has shown Pharaoh what he is about to do. There will be 7 years of plenty, where lots and lots of food grows throughout the land. But that will be followed by 7 years of famine, where nothing will grow, and all of the years of plenty will be forgotten." And he said, "I'm sorry, Pharaoh, but unless you put away food from the good years so that you have food during the famine, Egypt will starve. You need to appoint somebody who will be able to manage all that and get food, some of the food from the good years, and put that food into barns so that you will have food during the years of famine." Well, Pharaoh was very pleased with what Joseph had said. And he said, "I cannot think of anyone better. There is no one else who is so filled with the Spirit of God than you, Joseph. I want you to be that person who's in charge." And so he gave Joseph his ring. There's the Pharaoh giving Joseph his ring. And he gave him a gold necklace and beautiful clothes. And he also gave Joseph his 2nd chariot, so that Joseph could go throughout all the land of Egypt and check out all of the food operations and take some food from everywhere and put that food into barns so that there would be food during the famine. I want to show you my pictures from Answers in Genesis. So we have here, there is Potiphar with Joseph. And here we have Joseph with the keeper of the prison and the prisoners. And over here we have Joseph talking to Pharaoh, explaining the meaning of Pharaoh's dreams. And right here, there's Joseph as second in all of Egypt, second in command. And so he went from being the beloved son to a slave, and from a slave to working for Potiphar as an important job, and from working for Potiphar into prison, and then from prison to second in command of all of Egypt. and God was with him. And never did Joseph lose faith in the Lord because his circumstances got worse. No, God was with Joseph no matter where he was and blessed all that he did. And God was going to save the whole nation of Israel and use Joseph to help accomplish that. So we will be talking about the years of famine tomorrow. I hope you'll come back and find out what happens. Thank you for listening, and bye for now.